big um, spaces covered by ruins, and I was very interested in this when I was in Berlin at the end of the 80s. No, so this what was here? No, the Terrennenweg could be in this sense both a void that has to be filled, or that waits to be filled, or it can be a void that was filled and is now empty.
Yes.
But in any case, it's a void, no?
Yes.
Look at this. Well, look at this. This is very nice. Rome, no? San Pedro, San Pietro.
Sí.
And the fountain is in the foreground.
Correct.
I'm relating this view where you look at things in a very accidental way. You can make with this vision out of everything a Terrennenweg, so to say.
Yes.
Panorama. Look. Those empty spaces.
That looks like a photography.
This is a photography.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is a paint. This is a drawing.
Painting.
Or a gravure.
Yes. Ah, it's a gravure?
Perhaps.
Okay.
It's not a photography in any case.
No. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would suggest you to investigate in the history of photography some photographers. Excuse me.
No, it's okay.
¿Qué tal, primo? ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien. Sí. Me enseñó la expo. Fuimos juntos a verla, luego nos tomamos un café. Muy bien, muy simpática. Sí. Es muy fanática, muy friki. Sí. Sí. Cuéntame. Me voy el jueves, tío. Me voy el jueves a Madrid. Sí. Me ha salido una cosa y entonces me voy a Madrid. Te iba a llamar para decirte que te fallo, pero bueno. Eso es. ¿Cómo va todo? ¿Cómo estás? Bueno, sí, dicen que se está recuperando la economía, tío, ¿no? ¿Has leído la contra de La Vanguardia de hoy? Sí. Pues léela. Sí, pues nada, es el que está en la cátedra que ocupaba en económicas, Estapé, y dice que nada, que va a ser una recuperación robusta y cojonuda, vamos, o sea que... No, es de la UB, sí. Luego lo leerás. Exacto. Oye, nada, pues lo dejamos para otro fin de. Venga, un abrazo muy fuerte, Luis. Lo ves de vez en cuando, claro, en el despacho. Sí. Está trabajando muchísimo. Está, bueno, tremendo, sí. Sí, se lo pasa bien porque si no estaría jodido, o sea que le gusta. Sí, yo creo que sí. Efectivamente. Muy bien, Luis. Un abrazo muy fuerte. Hasta luego, primo. Yo te llamo, sí, sí, sí. La tenemos pendiente desde hace muchos meses ya, sí, efectivamente. Un abrazo fuerte, Luis. Hasta luego. Chao. And this one, this is very nice. This picture by Fox Talbot. Fox Talbot was the one of the. It's here. One of the inventors of photography. There were two, many, 6 actually, but two that succeeded were Talbot, Englishman, and Daguerre. This is the official name, Frenchman. And he was a noble. He was aristocracy from the English aristocracy, and he had a very, very high level education. So, and in the first half of the 19th century, it was usual for this class to speak Latin, Greek, even Hebrew, of course French, English, German, Italian, perhaps even Spanish, and they had this general overview of culture. No, they were interested in archaeology, but in botanic as well, or in astronomy. You know, and
Yes.
it was very. We are speaking about an epoch where drawing was very important, because drawing was the mean of taking notes and of making the
Yes,
records,
keeping records of
everything.
everyday life.
So, but Fox Talbot was a very bad drawer.
Was
So
he the one who said,
he
"Oh, I
invented-
wish I could just freeze it," because he tried to draw and he could not?
Could be, yes.
Yes.
And he
There's a
invented
famous
photography in order to overcome his limitations in drawing.
Yes,
You know?
there's a famous say of him saying,
Could be, yes. And
"I tried
he,
to draw and failed horribly."
yes, yes. And he was in this way interested in testing this procedure he invented with common places and common objects that were around him.
Yes.
In his
He was in Como. He was in Lake Como. He tried to draw and he
Yes,
could not.
Yes, yes,
and
yes, yes.
yes,
Como Lake, yes.
Yes,
in the
it was
north of Italy.
Italy, yeah.
Yes, yes. There's a famous line where he tried to make a skis. No?
yes,
And he failed. He
failed.
Horribly.
yes.
No?
That's what he
And
says.
he invented photography.
Mhm.
Therefore,
Yes.
and in this sense, he made these pictures. You see, these are absolutely banal. This is the sense of banality I'm talking about.
But is it a very picturesque banality?
No, it's not picturesque. It's
Okay.
not picturesque. If you compare this with we must. It's done in the first half of the 19th century. So we can't look at this with our view 150 years later. We must we must try to eliminate all these layers,
New layers, yes.
because when you look at when you go to the British Museum, for instance, or to the Victoria and Albert Museum, or in any place in Europe, and you look at Le Gout, no, what was fashionable in this time. But this is absolutely out of fashion. This has
Okay.
nothing to do with. This is a very humble tool that not even somebody belonging to the middle class would be interested in. That belongs to a to a class, to the working class. And working class is lower class. This has to be understood. No?
Yes. Yeah.
And this is not picturesque. Picturesque is ein Begriff, no? An idea that comes from the it's about more or less, no? This, and it's this oh, my English is very
auf
rusted.
Deutsch.
Auf Deutsch. Das ist der Erfinder. Das ist eine Erfindung von einem Engländer. Und der Erfinder von der modernen, von der zeitgenössischen
Erfindung
Ästhetik.
is invention or discovery?
Erfindung is invention.
Okay.
Discovery would be Entdeckung.
Entdeckung. Okay.
Entdeckung.
My Spanish is better than my German.
Entdeckung, Decke, also something that is covered. Entdeckung.
Is remove the cover.
Remove the cover.
Okay.
That's discovery.
Discover.
Discovery.
Discover.
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 Und Erfindung ist out of new. It is not something that is hidden. No?
Finding
It's something
out.
that did not exist before. No? That's
Okay.
Erfindung. No?
Yes. Okay.
So
it's
in German,
from a British.
And this British, this Englishman, oh my God, the name was. It's very famous. He wrote a book in the middle of the 18th century about aesthetics, and he is the creator of this idea of the picturesque, something that belongs to be painted.
The sublime? No.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. In any case, this is not picturesque. No? And picturesque, when you read Kant, for instance, Immanuel Kant, der deutsche Philosoph, picturesque is something pretty and something aimable. An Alpine landscape with a storm or with a horrible nature, no, is not picturesque. It's sublime, no.
Sublime.
This is another concept. It's another idea. No?
Yes.
In any case, I would say this look at this. This is Crimean War. In the center, in the middle of the 19th century. These are the first pictures made during a war in the Crimea war.
I didn't notice. Yes,
Death of the detail of the fortifications at Malakoff.
Yes.
Yes.
It looks
And
like
these are
dead people.
no, I think it's only
Oh, I think it's just rubble, but
Yes.
it looks like dead bodies.
sacos. I don't know the name. I will offer you my book
Oh, thank you.
because you will find there a lot of material.
Yes, thank you. I think I scanned half of it from the university library.
Where do you find it? Here in Barcelona.
I think in ETH.
In Zurich.
Yes.
It's in Zurich.
I think so. Or was it in here?
I
Don't
I
remember.
am offering it to you, and
Okay.
I will ask you for something to
Sure.
take one to the ATH
Okay, yes, for sure.
and offer it to the library.
Okay, great, yes. We can also ask them to get books and they get them if they are recent.
But it would be an offering from
Yes.
myself.
Okay, that
to
would
the
be
ATH library.
that would be definitely great.
So they can have it right now.
Yes. Oh, perfect. Thank you. That's very generous of you.
No.
It's really
not
generous
at all,
of you.
Not at all.
Yes.
It's the problem with this book is the texts are in Spanish, but it's a
It's
book
okay.
that was the graphic design is very. I like it very much. It's very original. The fact that the text that
Is
the
in the
book
middle?
begins right with pictures,
Uh-huh.
and after 80 pictures more or less,
Yes. It starts with the text.
nearly 80 pictures, it
Yes.
starts with the text, and so with this
Uh-huh.
paper, different paper for the
Yes.
texts. The texts are very nice, I think,
Yeah.
and there's a final text written by myself on technique.
Mm-hmm.
I'm planning to step by step to
Standards?
translate it
Ah, okay.
to English in English,
Mhm.
and then perhaps to put the texts, the translation, the English translation, in a web page, so
Okay.
that everybody can access to them in case of necessity.
Okay. Well, that's good. If you need help, I can help you.
Thank you.
Yes.
What's your schedule? Your timetable with this work?
Okay, I've started about 2 years ago. I'm supposed to finish in September, either September or January. So, yes, I'm more at the end rather than at the beginning. And then I don't know.
It's a nice work to study
Mm-hmm.
with total attention to the smallest detail, a text, no?
Yes.
And then to follow it.
Yes,
And
I'm planning, but it's not working so far, but I'm planning on making it as if it's you drop a stone in water and it goes. So you start with really the text itself without looking outside, and then at the references of the text, and then the references of the references, and then the author, and the context of Barcelona, the context of the NE1 corporation where he wrote the book, so the book references, and then the largest context.
Do you speak Spanish? Do you?
I understand Spanish.
Yeah,
Yes,
you can.
puedo hablar, pero mi español no es muy bien. Pero lo
entiendes bien.
Lo entiendo bien, sí.
Lo lees correctamente.
Cuando lo leo bien,
¿Por qué
porque
estamos hablando en inglés?
porque es mejor
yo te entiendo a ti
entender.
mejor en inglés, pero yo me expreso mejor en castellano.
Sí, pero es siempre paura, que no entiendo todo o lo entiendo como lo quiero.
Ya, claro.
Sí, sí. Pero si quieres
Sí.
hablar
En español.
en español.
Sí. Hombre,
It's
yo
okay.
tengo un conocimiento pasivo del inglés.
Ujú.
Es decir, yo puedo hablar en inglés, si
Sí.
me preparo una clase puedo darla en inglés,
Okay.
pero claro, no tengo el dominio del inglés
Sí,
que
sí.
tengo del alemán, ¿no? O
Sí,
del
pero
español.
a veces es mejor porque la gente habla en modo claro,
Sí,
claro,
sí,
que
sí, y más despacio.
sí, sí,
Sí.
sí, a veces es mejor
Sí,
para entender todo que lo quieren
sí,
sin belleza de
sí,
del idioma.
sí.
Sí, pero así como quieres.
¿Y de dónde saca Solá Morales la palabra, la expresión terrain vague? ¿De dónde la saca? ¿Se la inventa?
No, okay. In English, I
Sí.
can't explain it. The word has been used often before him. So even there's a photography by Man Ray, photomontage by Man Ray that is called Terrain Vague, and the artist Van Gautier, what's his name? Yeah, he's an artist, and also he mentions Terrain Vague, and he explained it in a short text. And it has been used also as the title of some books that date as early as 1900, I think, or 1950. And during the period where the fall of the Berlin Wall, the Olympic Games in Barcelona, everyone was interested in void, and so the term terrain vague was used to, but was used without really knowing. And what was very interesting by Ignatius is that he pointed out, like, oh, we're using this term, and then he makes a definition of it in architecture and for architects and urbanists. But it was more present in arts, and it was a visual presence since photography, but then it became defined and coined by Ignacy. And even I had a talk with Edouard Brou, and he was mentioning that at some point around the mid-90s he was talking to Ignacy, and he says terrain vague, and Ignacy gets very surprised, and he tells him before he wrote the text or while he was writing, like, oh, how do you know this term? And Edouard did not understand why Ignacy got so excited. And then he says, oh, I just happened to, he wasn't thinking, Edouard, about it. And 1 year later, the publishing of the text, yes. But the text was published in 1994, but Ignacy wrote it about 2 years earlier. So he was writing it, and then he hears Edouard Brou, and then he's very excited because it's in the air somehow. So it comes out of this whole notion of empty space.
He wrote it 1992.
Around 1992, and he starts publishing it in 1994 and 1995 and 1996. Three times mainly, and then it gets published again and again and again and again.
In Gustavo Gili, in a book form.
Territorios.
Sí.
But that's later.
That's later.
Yes.
This was
in 1994 it was Triennale di Milano.
Sí.
And 1994-1995 it was the Any Place. And then 96 it was in Quaderns. And people usually refer to this one. Even Ignacy refers to this one. Everyone forgot about that one.
And this is very nice, yes. Because it's very nice because the Liceo,
1994.
1994,
Mhm.
and the Liceo was at the back after the bombing.
Yes.
It was suddenly what it was a ruin,
Mhm.
and this ruin, and I can tell you because I saw that.
Yes.
I saw that, and it was like the Coliseo, so to say. Es una cáscara.
Sí,
Era el perímetro
sí. Y nada al
y todo
interior.
esto vacío.
Mhm.
How I can explain it to you? This is Las Ramblas.
Mhm.
This is the space where the Liceo is.
Mhm.
And I photographed from this place. This is la Torre Escénica,
Uh-huh.
and this is the
Auditorium.
the hemiciclo, ¿no?
Yes.
La herradura. La herradura.
La arena.
Herradura is the
Yes, I'm
here,
trying to remember the
el
word.
caballo,
Sí.
la herradura, ¿no?
Sí, sí.
To have.
The seat, no? Oh, how do you call it? Okay, but I understand.
It's made in
Yes, it's the lucky.
sí. Sí. La herradura, ¿no? La forma, aquí es el escenario,
Mhm.
la torre escénica, y entonces yo fotografié en el eje. Esta es una calle.
¿Se
This is a
podía?
street.
No.
Sí, sí, sí.
Okay.
Y yo aquí en el I don't know where I have these pictures, but in any case, this was empty, and
Mhm.
I did photographs from here, month after month, and I followed the rising of the structure
Mhm.
till this was built, and
Yes.
no way, there was no vision anymore because
Okay.
it was
Closed.
closed, no?
Okay.
But I saw how this was constructed.
Were they published, these pictures?
No, they were exhibited, and
Uh-huh.
I have to pick them
Okay.
up in the gallery where it was exhibited with the architects that helped Ignasi.
Fabre.
Fabre, Luis Fabre y Dilme.
Mhm. Yes, I met Fabre.
You met them.
I met Fabre.
Okay.
I don't meet him. I think I greeted Dilme. Just. Yeah.
In any case, this Fabre is the more extroverted one.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. The other is more shy. No?
Yeah, I think so.
See.
Yes.
And in any case, this was a terrain back.
Mhm.
This was it was burnt totally,
Yes.
and it was Ignasi was the architect of the
Yes.
Liceo, and he warned often, very often. We must be careful. The security is very low in this building. Any time it can happen that.
Yes, in
fire-
1993 he wrote
Yes,
an article or a report
yes,
about it.
yes. And no one gave him credit for this, no, and
Mhm.
he was right, of course, no,
Mhm.
and now I am realizing this it's curious because it's sort of anticipating, no?
Mhm.
with something that I have this theory. He died early,
Yes.
and could be that the Liceo was the culprit of that. Because-
Susan Strom, I met her yesterday, and
I
she was
don't-
saying she worked with him in Metropolis,
Yes.
and she was saying also this, This is what everyone believes.
Because he was a very kind, very